A couple of weeks ago, I started horse riding again, after a 2-year break. It had been great fun to get back in the saddle, but I quickly realised I had picked up some bad riding habits that needed ironing out before I could progress. We were on our way to the yard for the 3rd time. For the next 2 lessons, we were planning on tackling some of the key issues. One of the main issues highlighted was my lower leg. Not only was it too far forward, but it was swinging like a pendulum instead of being held still. One reason for this is gripping the saddle with my thighs. One of the best exercises for getting a stable lower leg is to ride without stirrups. It sounds fun, but man, do your legs kill the next day. Plus, until you get a stable leg, you bounce around like an out-of-control frog, especially in trot. It's counterintuitive, but the more you grip with the knee, the more you are thrown out of the saddle. So the key is to just relax and go with the movement of the horse. As well as my troublesome leg, I also have a bad habit of leaning in around bends. As well as looking funny, it also unbalances the horse, so it was important I nip this habit in the bud. The lesson was intense. To say I was sore the next day would have been an understatement. The thing with riding is that you're using leg muscles that otherwise wouldn't be used. Therefore, when you're not riding much, like me with just a 30-minute lesson per week, it's easy to revert back to old habits. The next week, my leg was still misbehaving. Although it sounds obvious, we often forget that the secret to succeeding in anything is to put in the hours. The more you practice, the better you'll become. Hence, someone who rides 7 times a week is much, much, much more likely to correct their position than someone who rides just once a week. The other important factor in succeeding is mindset. While some may sigh and give in to the fact that they are not physically able to ride more than once a week, and thus will never succeed, the more determined rider will find a way to get in the hours. I like to think I do the latter. I ride once a week, and if my work gets super hectic, I don't even do that. But I make sure I practice. The internet is a wonderful resource, full of exercises that you can perform at home to strengthen your lower leg and improve your posture. Even watching other people ride and analysing their position is beneficial and classes as learning. I've been doing exercises at home in between my lessons. My leg position clearly still needs work. It's not something you can correct over a 1-week period. but I have noticed obvious improvements to my overall position and confidence. This week, we were doing more work without stirrups to further improve my leg. After last week, it felt a lot more natural, and despite the pouring rain, I was actually more comfortable and not slipping as much. It pleased me to know I was improving. It was time for me to take back my stirrups. My lower leg still isn't perfect, but I definitely noticed some improvements. I felt more comfortable and in tune with my horse. Then we decided to have a canter, and that's where I noticed the most difference. My canter felt lovely. I wasn't being thrown out of my seat like I sometimes am, and I was aware of my leg wrapping around my horse. It felt like the perfect end to the lesson. My key takeaway from these last two lessons was that in order to maintain a good lower leg, without being able to ride frequently, I would need to continue strengthening my leg muscles at home. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to click the thumbs up button and to subscribe for more. I will see you in the next episode.